I originally just brought home 2 little beggar girls, but never expected they would awaken my son who had been in a coma for 10 years. They cried so heartbreakingly, I thought they'd gone mad. But their cries actually brought my son back to life. Later I found out they were snake stars sent from heaven to bless our family, destined to meet me, but their lives had been full of hardship. They were first adopted by a cruel couple who starved them and planned to sell them for food. I happened to witness the scene, and seeing them being abused, I took out $20 and bought them on the spot. Little did I know, that simple act helped me reclaim the good luck I was fated to find. I brought them home, and as soon as we entered, I heard my son's condition had worsened. I rushed to his side, and heard the girls gently say dinner is ready. To my shock, my son opened his eyes after 10 years, and shouted he wanted iron pot goose stew. I was stunned and overjoyed. To help feed him, the second girl brought out her treasured porcelain bowl from 8 years ago. The third girl offered her personal wooden spoon. Just then, the doctor I called finally arrived. After checking my son, he was amazed to find his illness completely cured, his body even stronger than most boys his age. The only regret was that his eyes still couldn't be healed, unless we could find a 1,000-year-old spiritual mushroom. The girls heard this, and after finishing their meal, took my son to the mountain behind the house. There they actually encountered a 1,000-year-old snake. But since the girls were celestial snake spirits, the great serpent didn't dare harm them, and humbly offered up the rare mushroom. With it, the girls healed my son's eyes. When I arrived, the 3 of them were perfectly safe. My son's eyes were bright and clear again. I finally believed these girls were truly heaven-sent blessings. But before I could fully rejoice, a servant rushed in with urgent news. The disaster relief granary was empty. I had to return immediately to deal with the refugees. I didn't dare delay, and rushed back to the estate, only to discover the real culprit was the William family. They were trying to force me to marry their eldest daughter, to take over my military position. Just as I was worrying over this, Miss William herself walked in, handed me a check for $100,000, and said if I agreed to marry her, the money would be mine, along with access to the family's grain stores for disaster relief, but only if I drove those 3 children out. Seeing how shameless she was, the 2 girls couldn't take it anymore, grabbed kitchen knives and charged at her. The scene nearly scared her into wetting herself. She ran out of the commander's estate while threatening us, but even though she was gone, we still had no grain. To help me through the crisis, the 3 siblings decided to attend an auction, hoping to win some money. That day, the auction was holding a pearl gamble event. If they could find a priceless pearl, they might be able to turn things around. Unexpectedly, the event was hosted by Miss William. Even the cheapest shell cost hundreds of dollars. The siblings didn't have enough pocket money, so they turned their eyes to the discarded shells. But the girl pointed to the biggest one and insisted on buying it. Her words made the entire hall burst into laughter. Miss William mocked them too, and said she'd gift the shell to them. But if there was no pearl, they must leave my estate, and I had to marry her. If there was a pearl, she'd release grain to help the people. The girl pressed her fingerprint without hesitation. Just then I arrived, and after hearing about the bet, I thought it was ridiculous. But seeing the determination in their eyes, I nodded in agreement. Soon, the discarded shell was placed on the table. The girl stepped forward and tapped it twice. The next second, the shell opened on its own,